Nicely done, Jerry. Very good. Okay. Good stuff. Okay. I think
you got it, Carl, yeah?
I think I have got it now. Setting up your meeting for YouTube. That's fantastic. And I'm also going to press a button that says this, which hopefully isn't throwing me out. Very good. Oh, great. Okay, so we're hearing ourselves coming through on the other channel, which is great. So there we go. We are streaming live to YouTube now. Good evening, everybody over there on YouTube. And yes, Gilda, in all seriousness, I hope you had a fantastic birthday at the weekend.
I did.
Parabéns. And just so everybody knows, culturally, you don't wish people a happy birthday in advance in Portugal, but I think it's okay to say we hope you had a good birthday and belated birthday greetings to you. That's okay, isn't it?
Yes, that's okay.
Thank you very much. Okay, and how are things at the EI office in anticipation of Christmas? Do you have a tree up in the office, and do people get a little bit giddy and excited at this time of year?
Yeah, but also lots of work, so...
Yes. Well, on that note, then, thank you for being here. This is Migration Tuesday. We've got Nuno Mendes with us as well, and I forgot Sarah may join us from Spartan FX a little bit later on. But yes, it's busy, lots of work. No let up in the pace for helping people coming to Portugal. Gilda, how is it looking with CEF and generally speaking in terms of people coming to Portugal, and how CEF and the government are responding at the moment?
Just for you to have a clue, we cannot stop. And we have CEPs on the 26th of December, and so we cannot stop. And today there was this terrible storm, and we had 8 CEPs all around the country. Yes. And we couldn't stop because these people were waiting for their appointments for months.
Yes. And again, like I said last week, it would appear that there was a little bit of a spike in responses from CEF. Is that true?
A little bit of what? Sorry?
An upsurge and a spike in responses from CEF and people getting their passports back, people having meetings set. It seems to be quite the opposite to what people might have been expecting. It's like, oh, I'm not going to expect anything now. It's late in the year. But actually, people are getting appointments and people are getting their approvals.
Yes, that is actually happening.
Great news then. Okay, excellent stuff. Our first question is in Sudhir Kumar. Unless there's anything else you want to tell us from the world of migration and the industry.
There is something new from Washington, D.C.
Okay.
Now you cannot email the process. You have to book it from VFS. This is something new.
Does that make them like San Francisco now?
Yes, it's like San Francisco now.
Okay, all right. Thank you for that. So that's a good update. Well, not necessarily a good. That's not an improvement, is it? Let's face it.
Yeah, it's not an improvement, but
okay. So be aware of that, folks, if you're using a DC. Let's go to that first question then. And bear with me, do excuse me, I have a terrible case of the man flu, but I think I might just make it through the call. Warm greetings from, I was just checking Gilda's face for any sympathy there. Nope. Warm greetings from Mumbai, India. And good morning. It's 2:30. My goodness, thank you, Sudhir, for being here. Me and my wife applied for the D7 visa in the Goa consulate and were interviewed by consulate officers on the 12th of December. Both applied for D7 visas as we believe our means satisfy the requirements individually. It's quite a long question. Let's have a look if we can. The last part of the question is, can EI assist us in resolving this matter in a timely manner? Absolutely, yes. And I'll see if we need to go back to a lot of the detail there. But hey, are we right to apply for our D7 visas as per the law? Our understanding is that as long as the passive income satisfies the requirements, we're eligible for income from remote work employment from India. Let's start with that, Gilda. You don't have to just have your passive income. You can remain working, can't you, on a D7?
Yes, you can, but as long as your passive income requires the minimum that the D7 the minimum requirements of the D7.
Okay, thank you for that. And B, is this correct yet? If this is correct and yet our application is denied, I think you are looking here, Sudhir, at the worst case scenario now. How should we defend our case? Which authority, consulate or CEF, and when should we approach them? Now, you tend not to think so negatively at the outset, generally speaking, do you, Gilda?
No, but we have to see which are the higher chances.
Okay.
With the D7 or if they have remote work, if the chances are higher with the remote work. It seems that they don't reach the minimum with the remote work because it's 2,000 euro.
Okay.
And it is required 2,080 euro, and then it's going to be more because the minimum wage is going to change in the next year.
Okay, all right. I think certainly Sudhir is looking at D7 here.
Yeah.
So let's stay with that. In the case of appeals, well, first of all, how often do you deal with appeals? And currently, Gilda, what's your success rate with getting people visas? Let's focus on the positive.
Well, now it's not 100% with appeals, I must say. It has changed because the requirements they became much more demanding, and sorry, we are having much more process sending to being denied and sending for appeals, and we are making lots of appeals, lots of appeals, I must say.
You
and
are? Okay.
yes, we are having many appeals, well, most of them are because they were they used to be D7s, and now they are, because of the new law, they are digital nomads now.
Yes.
So we are now making appeals saying, okay, it's not a D7, but it is a digital nomad now.
Okay.
But we are making lots of appeals, and also because they are in countries like India, Pakistan, and some African countries like Nigeria. They are making it so much difficult than before.
Yes.
Because it's like they discovered the D7, and even though they meet the requirements, they are making it lots of difficulty. Saying that they are not sure why they need a D7, that they don't think that they want to live in Portugal. Sometimes they claim that they are suspicious, that they just want the visa for Portugal because it's easier to get than to other countries.
Yes, interesting.
Yeah, and it's difficult to try and to convince them that it's not in that way.
This is really interesting. This is where we're at, isn't it, Gilda? We've been talking together for a couple of years now, and things have changed quite considerably. We've had our pandemic period, and we're into the post-pandemic period. And of course, during this time, Portugal has become more and more popular. The new kind of visa has been introduced. And in some ways, you could say that Portugal is something of a victim of its own popularity. And this is something inevitable about all of this, isn't there? So I don't quite know how to put this, but I don't want to depress or overwhelm or worry people unnecessarily, but this is why you need the help, basically, isn't it? Because it is getting a little bit stricter, more demanding. It's not how it was 2 years ago. That's fair to say, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Yeah. Okay. So things are moving on, things are changing, and you need the professional help here.
Even to open a simple bank account, it became a nightmare.
Didn't it just? You were right. You were right there in the middle of Millennium Gate, weren't you? Of course, a few months. But is there any update on that? Have you created a new partner yet, or is that still in process?
Well, I created a new partnership, but I don't have a new bank account open yet. So I'm still on trial.
Watch this space. Okay, so I think we've helped Sudhir there. And yes, certainly question C, can EIA assist us with resolving this matter in a timely manner, for sure. And how to email Gilda. You can see the email address on the screen behind there, Sudhir. If there's anything else we can help you with, do let us know. Good evening to you, Jean and Suzanne as well. Thank you for being here tonight. And we'll probably go to Nunu at around past with a little bit of an insurance update to see if there's anything new with Nunu as well. We've got extra value tonight with Nunu Mendes of Insurance being here. And Yumiko is here. We're prioritizing people who are premium members. Thank you for being premium members. And of course, when you are, this is something that gives you a 10% discount off EI's professional services. So become a premium member to qualify for that, and a whole lot of other benefits and bonuses as well. Yumiko, hello, sort of newbie here. Good evening and welcome to you. We had a great in-person meeting with Christina on Monday. Excellent. So looking forward to working with you, Yumiko and Chris. Seattle, but now in rainy Lisboa. Yes, I'll have to ask you about this, Gilda. You and me both with the coughing here, and it could be something to do with the wet weather at the moment. You know, when they say 300 days of sunshine in Portugal, they don't tend to say that the other 65 days are of continuous rain. Is that an accurate assessment of the weather at the moment? Feels like it.
It's not supposed to be.
Okay, but I mean, in all seriousness, it has been very, very awful in the capital, hasn't it? 60% of the, I think last week at the gathering, that was the day when 60% of December's rainfall fell in one day. How much more of this can we expect, Gilda? You must be keeping an eye on this, what with sending staff and clients all around the country.
Sorry?
What do you make of this? You must be keeping an eye on the weather situation with you sending staff all over the country and clients all over the country for meetings.
Yes, I was very worried today.
Yeah. Okay.
Very worried.
Because we're under yellow weather warning, aren't we? But
yeah.
and with the indication of a few more days of this. But you know, we'll ask Nuno when we talk to him, because he is in the scouting movement. He will definitely be prepared. So we'll ask.
And Yumiko, I was on the office on Monday, and I must have missed you because I was there and I didn't see you.
All right. Well, they've brought their Seattle weather with them. As Yumiko's saying, so please don't do that, anybody. And great to have you here, by the way, Yumiko. Hello, Gilda. Hello, Carl from Isa. Hello. Finally, I got my D7 accepted. Thank you so much for your weekly help and guidance through the webinars. That's lovely to hear, isn't it? You were one of the reasons I decided to move to Portugal, and I'm so happy that it worked out. Oh, that's fantastic. Thank you so much, Gilda, for sharing your email last week. Luckily, we didn't need it this time, but we still need a lot of help before and after moving to Portugal with the driving license, tax consultancy, and Casa Portuguesa. Let's deal with those so that people can find out what's what with working with you and the vast array of services that you offer. Driving licenses, that would be Carla, wouldn't it? Who we hope to have on the show on the Migration Tuesday one of these evenings. Are you working on her to join us?
Not really, but I can try.
Let's keep trying. Let me send her an email as well, so we can have the Carl and Carla moment with exchanging driving licenses. From your point of view,
you just lost your opportunity because she went to our event and you weren't there.
I wondered how long it was going to be until I got a little bit of a burn about that. Look, Gilda, I'm not feeling well. I got the man flu. It may be karma. Okay, so let me apologize now, but I can see clearly you haven't forgiven me. No. But it did take until 15 minutes past. Fair play. I hope to meet her another time. How's it looking in the world of driving license exchange? It's pretty controversial generally. Has it got any easier for people?
Yes, because of the law change, it got easier for people under 65 years old.
Right. Okay, so a little bit easier there. So that may well help there, Issa. Not that I suspect you're way under 65 years of age. Tax consultancy, is that something you help people with as well, Gilda?
It depends. Okay, there are things that I can help with until a certain level, but then if there is something it's out of my expertise, I will advise some other people.
So yes, okay, presumably you've got a good associate to pass people to in that instance, and Casa Portuguesa, of course, whereby you get a lift from the airport to your new accommodation and a bottle of wine on the countertop when you arrive. Casa Portuguesa, of course, is your property finding service. So Issa, looking forward to taking advantage of all those services, and you can find Casa Portuguesa in the Expats Portugal business directory. Thanks, Jerry, for your help there as well. Keep an eye on the chat, folks, for contact details and so on. Good evening to folks over on YouTube now as well. Andrew, good evening to you. And Noor, hi, my family and I got our D7 visas a few days ago. We're getting a lot of approvals. This is great, but there is no appointment link on the visa sticker. Is it possible to contact you to help us with taking a CEF appointment? Does this happen very often, Gilda, that people get their approval, but they don't get the appointment link?
Yes, it's because there are no appointments. And that is good that you got an appointment, because the other alternative was that you didn't get the visa approval.
Okay.
So look at the bright side.
Okay, yes. So the approval is the important thing, and then the next matter is creating an appointment. Can you help with that?
Yes, we can, but at the moment there are no vacancy available.
Okay, so is it still the case that everybody at EI is constantly ringing Seth
Every day.
alongside their? I was describing this scenario to somebody the other day. So
Every day.
It's a good job you've got women working now, and I'm not being sexist here, but the multitasking nature of the female brain means that women are doing their jobs at EI, their regular work, but also constantly on the phone to Seth with the other hand or the other part of their brain, right?
Yes.
Very good. And then suddenly they'll answer the phone and they'll be like, quiet, I've got Seth. And then you can get into to booking an appointment. Fantastic. All right, there you go, Noor. Let us know.
So what you can do is that you can send a copy of your visa, your passport and your visa.
Yeah.
And you will be calling Seth like every day. And when we have a vacancy, we can book that for you.
Fantastic. Thank you. Good evening, Susie. Gerard shaped box. Interesting name. 3 Ps in the pod also here. And Jessie. Hi, I'm a single mom and I will apply for a D7 visa with my 12-year-old daughter. Someone told me that even my daughter has to submit her own motivation letter. Great question. Not had this one before, Gilda. Is that true? Or is it only the adult and the parent that has to submit the motivation letter?
No, I haven't seen a child submitting a motivation letter before.
And that threshold would be 18 years of age, would it, for those needing to submit,
Yes.
unless they're a student, presumably?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So that's good news, I suspect, Jessie. Although, wouldn't that be lovely to see the motivation letter of a 12-year-old and why they want to move to Portugal with mum? Thank you for that. So let us know if we can help any further, Jessie. Mehmet, good evening to you. Great to see you. Hi, Carl. Hi, Gilda. How long does the DNV process, and we all know what that means, digital nomad visa process, ongoing with your other clients? How's it going? How's it going with the digital nomad visa? Are the consulates demanding documents not listed on the official website, like the rental agreement, etc.? So yeah, a little bit of an update, if you don't mind, on the DNV, on the digital nomad visa this week, please, Gilda.
One consulate asked for 3 months of bank statements.
Okay.
Which is not on the law.
Right.
But as far as it concerns to rental agreements, no.
Okay.
Not for the moment, no.
But it's all a bit sort of conditional, discretionary. These things can happen, so it's quite a useful tactic to have these things in place so you don't get caught out.
Yes.
Okay. Anything else? Any other updates from the DNV world?
No, just this, like we on the first one that we sent to the consulate, we provided all the documents and then they asked for the 3 months bank statements.
Okay, fantastic. This is Migration Tuesday with Gilda Pereira from EI, from Assessoria Migratoria. Nuno Mendes from Winsurance is also here this evening. We'll come to you in just a moment, Nuno, after we've asked our next question to Gilda. This is from Rick. Sarah's also here. I think we spoke to you last week, Sarah, didn't we? And Rick, I am here for the good information. You're welcome. And the Mandela update. So please, it was a rather indelicate situation, I think, perhaps last week or the week before, when young Mandela ate one of the family's socks, which was successfully overcome. I'll not put too fine a point on that. But how is he this week? Is he behaving himself? And is he the sort of dog who gets a Christmas present, Gilda?
He didn't last year.
Oh, really? I had him down as somebody who might have a Christmas or several Christmas presents. Okay, sorry.
He gets a lot of attention of my clients now. Yes. All the presents are for him now. So I don't feel the need of buying him a Christmas present.
Fair enough. Okay, but you just sound a little slightly bitter about not getting so many presents yourself, if I may say.
Yes, I'm jealous.
And apart from that, how is the young fella?
Yeah, he's fine. He's jealous of everybody. Now I have my family that just came from Angola, and everybody that is here in my house, he's just so jealous.
Yes, so he's not happy about that. As much as you might be, he's not. Okay, some of his limelight is being shared.
After a few days, he's okay, but he needs time to get used to it.
Please give him Rick's love, as well as everybody else who's asking after Mandela this evening. Salah, good evening to you. Hi, I hope you're all doing well. Great. Well, actually, no, man flu here. And as I said, I hope to be able to make it through the call, Salah, but thank you for asking. I hope you're all doing well. We applied in a golden visa in 2021, and our lawyer made a mistake. Instead of choosing capital investment of funds of 1 million, they selected 5 permanent jobs at the time of biometric CEF. We were told it's okay. Oh, so that doesn't sound too good from Gilda's point of view by the sound of it. Do we have to worry about this if the reviewing CEF officer is changed? So can we start with what it's looking like with golden visas, and are those appointments moving? How long are people waiting? And then the specifics of that case, please, Gilda. How's it looking in the golden visa area?
It's very slowly.
Yeah.
It's taking a lot of time. But it seems like it's a big mistake. Instead of one thing that they wanted to apply, and the lawyer changed to another thing.
Yes. So just to explain to everybody else who's doesn't understand what that might mean, these are the criteria by which you can base your golden visa application upon investment of funds or creation of jobs, for example, there. And it sounds like this particular lawyer made the wrong choice. Yeah, I've got another question about that. So to help Salah here, do they have to worry about that if the reviewing officer at CEF is changed and questions are asked? How awkward might that be, and what can they do about it?
They need to show that they kept the investments that they initially applied for. Okay,
all right, okay.
So I would advise them to go to the same lawyer.
Yes. Oh, to put it right.
Yes.
Okay, well, that's my other question. If a lawyer makes a mistake in Portugal, what redress and what approach might, and we hasten to add, this is not anything to do with EI, this scenario that's being described here, of course. But what happens if you do have an issue with the professional behavior or performance of your lawyer in Portugal? What do you do about that?
The best thing to do is to go to them to fix it.
Okay, in the first instance, fix it with them, and then presumably there is the equivalent of what the bar association or the legal society that you could also use if you needed to. Yes,
to present a formal claim.
Okay, and similarly, I guess that as in Portuguese culture elsewhere, it's a kind of complaints book scenario. But you don't really want to be doing that, do you? You want to give the person the chance to put that right in the first instance.
Of course, because we don't have. I see a lot of it's in Portugal. It's very different than how it works in the United States, and I have this experience with my clients. Okay. They want to go and sue everyone.
Sorry to laugh.
Honestly,
okay, yes, right. Okay.
I'm sorry. It's true.
Right.
They have like a problem with the landlord because the water is linking on the shower, and they want to sue the landlord, and because of something they want to go and sue everyone, even like 10 before
Uber
I came.
Driver.
Yeah, before
the Uber driver's 10 minutes late.
Right. They want to. They keep asking for me the names of lawyers to sue for this and for that, and
what's your response, Gilda, when they say that to you?
Well, I try to be. Sometimes I say, okay, you are not in the United States, and things here are different. No one is going to really care about that, or you are going to lose a lot of money, and you are going to lose a lot of patience, because here in Portugal it's different. But sometimes when I think they are right, I give them the advice of a good lawyer in that area.
Yes.
But I must say that 99% they are not right to go and sue someone. And I try to help them to sort the situation by talking with the people and to find a friendly solution.
Very good, because we don't really want that sort of culture here, do we?
No, we don't have.
Now, that said,
And if they knew the Portuguese justice and how it works here,
yes,
they would
They
give
would- they would think twice, right?
Yeah, they would think twice.
Okay, all right. So what's like 50-year court battle's not going to really sort out the broken shower, is it? And thousands of euros later.
Yes.
Okay, all right. Yes, and this we know from reading the papers, of course, in Portugal, that the legal system is quite backed up and blocked up, isn't it? They're struggling to find staff, a not unfamiliar situation in Portuguese government, of course. So that is not, and this is a more general point, isn't it? I think about what people are used to, and a little bit of a reminder that we can give to people is you can't necessarily assume that how things are done where you come from is what's going to get things done over here in Portugal, right? And that's not just a law, is it? That's in most areas of life. It's certainly the case in accountancy and taxation as well, for example, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. However, on that note, and as somebody from the legal world, Gilda, are there some Portuguese lawyers who are thinking, that sounds quite interesting. That could be a good business model, working with all these American new migrants who want to sue people. Is the culture changing at all, or are Americans generally bending to the Portuguese way?
I don't see any lawyers interested about that.
Good. Okay. Well, long may that continue. And thank you for that little insight. Be Portuguese about it. That's one of my quotes from back in the day. Yumiko is saying this. So being Portuguese about it is having a conversation in the first instance and trying to figure something out. And don't just think of suing somebody when you've got a little bit of black mold in your new apartment. Okay. All right. That's really helpful. Useful insight. Thank you, Yumiko. Thank you, Gilles, for that. Excellent stuff. And Nunu, let's go to Nunu on the half-hour point here. I want to talk to you about this rain as a scout, Nunu, and this weather situation we've got in Portugal. But also, you were smiling, I think, when you saw how the Americans are responding to wanting to sue people. I guess in the world of insurance, you might come across it from time to time as well. So first of all, the weather. How much more of this can we expect, Nunu? I think you've been keeping an eye on it.
Yeah. So. Especially today, we had a lot of claims, property claims due to flood and water damages.
Yes.
Not so much cars. So if any of you have a car and has own damages, know that you can do a claim to your insurer, or you can ask us to assist you on it. Okay. So basically, it was all day receiving notifications for water damages. And
I didn't think of that, but of course, in your industry, you're looking at the weather and thinking, "Oh dear, it's going to be a busy day tomorrow."
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
So
and so, has that caused you to look at the weather? And from your scouting point of view, is this going to clear up soon? We want the sunshine back.
I don't know. Actually, I can share a history.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Because last Friday, I had a kind of survival activity for Eagle Scouts. And reaching camp, I do not want to wet my shoes. So I said, no, I will not go over there. I would choose a different path.
Right.
But I was with a backpack, a 60 liters backpack, and with a front pack of 30 liters. And I don't know how, but suddenly I fall down, and even also my underwear was wet. So this is the picture.
Sorry to laugh. So 90 kilos of pack. And there you are. You're
not 90 kilos, liters.
Oh, liters. Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah.
So, well, it's something that we handle with. I was not happy when this happened, but in the end, it was a successful 2 days activity.
In the wild. There you go. And of course, that's just as a side note, migrants, foreigners, expats who want to come over and want to get involved in volunteering, if they've got experience in the scouting movement in the country they've come from, is that transferable? Would you welcome expats as volunteers in the scouting movement here?
Yes, but also there are plenty of associations across Portugal, not related with the Scout movement, that do different different actions regarding volunteer.
All right.
So easily you can find them on Google.
Okay.
Easily.
And before we get back to the migration questions or the visa questions, certainly, because you're an important part of helping people come to Portugal, of course, Nuno. This thing of wanting to sue everybody, do you find that there is that suggestion from American settlers as well, and that they perhaps need to take a chill pill and get with the Portuguese culture?
Sorry, could you repeat?
Are you finding that as well, that the people from America are surprised about how differently insurance works and how litigation might influence people to work in a different way?
Yeah, regarding litigation, not so much.
Okay.
But yes, like Gilda said, we have a different culture regarding litigation. That's why usually regarding the errors and omissions and professional liability, when we have corporations or individuals asking for cover, we have two different quotes. One is worldwide accepting, with the exception of United States and Canada, and the other one is including. Because United States the litigation is so high that quotes are different.
Okay, all right. Well, thank you for that insight as well, Barry. I see you're in the community this evening. Just send me your question, and I'll make sure that gets asked as well. Thank you for people who are contacting me directly there. Sorry, go on, Nuno.
And regarding the any changes to visas insurance requirements, it's stable. There are no changes since the beginning, so
that's
it's
great.
Pretty much the same.
That's excellent.
No changes.
Okay, good reason to come to Migration Tuesday, to keep your finger on the pulse of what's going on. Let's get back to those visa questions. Hey, Gilda, great news from Marty. We are en route to Portugal. And yeah, we were a bit concerned about those crazy pictures you were taking, Marty, but you did assure us that you're going to stay safe, and clearly you are. However, we almost missed our connecting flights due to a huge snowstorm in Alaska. They're now in Frankfurt, so they're in Europe, which is great news. Well done, Marty. It's been a long, old, epic journey, hasn't it, with twists and turns. And
almost here.
Frankfurt, it's just down the road, isn't it? Basically, that's great news. Well done.
And Martin didn't forget my birthday, just for the record.
Okay, everybody. Okay, can I travel inside the Schengen area with my D7 visa if I hold a nationality that usually requires a Schengen visa to visit the EU? Or the D7 visa only allows me to enter Portugal? From Jana Marie.
While your D7 visa is valid, yes, you can travel in the Schengen countries, which means in the 4 months of the validity of the D7.
Yeah.
After that, only after you have the resident permit.
Okay. All right. Thank you for that. So let's see. Is there anything else we can do for you, Jana Marina? I think that's it for now. 3 Ps in the pod. Currently in the UK, retired due to my health, but I'm only in my 40s. I do receive a small pension. Would that cause me challenges when applying for the D7 with my family? I don't know which bit would cause you the problem, whether it's a retirement due to health or the pension part, Gilda. What do you make of that?
I would need to know the value of the pension.
Oh, okay. So
because it doesn't
gotcha.
it doesn't need to do with the age, but with the value of the pension.
Gotcha. All right. So that's the thing there. It's about the value, not that you've got a pension, but how much it's worth and how that might affect the situation. Simon, do tell us more. For the D7 stage 2 biometrics appointment at Seth, as asks Sandrine Rita, do I need to bring a police report from my country of residence or country of origin? Great question. Are there or there is no need to get any police certificate at this stage? So for biometrics appointment, does the police record need to come from one's country of residence or country of origin, and do you even need to bother at that stage?
No, because if you have applied to a visa before, the criminal records from your country of origin or residency are on your process already. So when you go to SEF, you won't need to bring them again.
Okay, there you go. That's for you, Sandrine. Let us know if that sorts out your inquiry there. And James Delighted, Marty, that you're on your way. And we will not be stopped, says Marty, on our quest to reach the shores of Portugal. We want photos, maybe video of you arriving on Portuguese terra firma, please. Hi, Gilda. Hi, Carl. I live in USA and I have to get my marriage and birth certificate apostilled from my country of origin for the D7 visa. They have to be translated into English. Do I have to get the translations apostilled too? Where do I get the certificates translated? Country of origin or USA? That is my permanent residence. Thank you, says Edith.
In the USA.
Okay, in the USA, that's very straightforward, Edith. Anything else, let us know. A Gerard-shaped box. As a European moving to Portugal, do I have to show proof of income when registering at the local camera? That's the camera being the town hall, and that's the form, isn't it? What you need to do, Gilda, as a European, you need to go within 90 days and no later, show up at the camera. Do you have to show proof of income?
Well, it depends on the camera.
Oh,
but
okay.
Some of them ask and some of them don't ask.
Yeah.
But I don't know which camera it is. So if you have a proof of income, I would bring it with me.
Yeah.
If not, I would bring a bank statement.
Okay, all right. 3 peas in a pod. Sounds like a great weekend that you had there, Nuno, despite falling over with 90 liters of storage on board there and wetting your underpants. Actually, no, I don't mean wetting your underpants in that way. You know what I mean. But not college. Sometimes things are said before you realize what you've said, right? But like Carl and Gilda, that'll never be forgotten, will it? John and Pam, Marty, congrats. We've been following your D7 progress as we had similar adventures and timing. We'll be on our way February the 1st. Great news from John and Pam as well. Happy for you, says Marty. Happy to cook you up a nice meal. Now, is this offer open to other members of the community here, Marty? Happy to cook you up a nice meal if you visit near Braga or Porto. We're up for that, aren't we, Gilda?
I think it's just for me.
You think it's just for you? You so haven't forgiven me for last week, have you? 3 peas in a pod. I took a half lump sum, currently paid 150 a month, goes up every year until I'm 67 as it's index linked. So 150 pounds, we're guessing, a month in a pension. Is that gonna be a problem of any kind with the visa application process?
I don't think so. I think that should be fine. It fulfills the requirements.
Okay, excellent stuff. Jim's here as well.
Of course, we have to see also the savings.
Yes. Okay. So I think probably a call to Gilda could be useful, just because it's going to be part of a bigger picture, isn't it? Of course, your 150.
Yeah.
And Gerard is thanking you for your answer there. And you are going to be taken up on your offer by John, Pam, and Gilda, by the sound of it. Pontalim is only 20 minutes north of Porto, where you'll be, Marty. Great news. And interesting, Marty, you've chosen Porto and Braga, the north of Portugal. Let's have a quick conversation about that, if we may, Gilda. Where are people ending up now? Or I know it's I guess in some ways it's sort of industrial intelligence and confidentiality issues here. We don't want to know specifics, who's going where, but generally speaking, the spread of people around the country now could be an interesting little topic to dwell on for a moment. It's definitely changed, doesn't it, in the last 2 years?
Yes, this works by trends.
Right.
So it started like by Lisbon, then the Algarve, then there was the Silver Coast, then it was Braga, lots of Braga. And now, like the last 2 weeks, I wonder what they are selling or what is going on in Viana do Castelo, because everyone is asking for houses in Viana do Castelo.
Is that right? Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so the
I was looking at the email of Casa Portuguesa and it was like Viana do Castelo, Viana do Castelo, Viana do Castelo, Viana do Castelo, and I was like,
right,
what is happening in Viana do Castelo?
Well, that's the question. What is happening in Viana do Castelo?
I don't know.
Right.
And the same happened to Braga, you know, at some point, like 2 years ago, I was reading the emails. I want to move to Braga. I want to move to Braga. And I thought, I've read this email before. No, it's another one. I want to move to Braga. I want to move to Braga.
Interesting.
I don't know.
Okay, the big question. Sorry,
sometimes they see movies on the YouTube.
Yes.
One about Braga, and then they all decide that they want to move to Braga. And then they see another movie about Viana do Castelo, and they all decide they want to go to Viana do Castelo. I think it's like that.
I've seen those videos. I know who you mean. Okay. And the big question then is, which one is next, do you think?
We don't have a trend, and we had Madeira also. We had a
Okay.
big trend about Madeira.
Yes.
We didn't have any trends about Alentejo, so I think it's the next one.
Alentejo. Whatever,
Yeah.
ever being a culinary capital and all
Yeah.
the laid-back lifestyle of the Alentejo. Okay, remember where you heard it first, folks. Maybe we need to make that video on location, Gilda. Yes! Now there's a plan. Jerry, Astrid, maybe Nuno will want to come along as well. We'll go and make that video of us trying the produce of the Alentejo, and that'll be the next sensational place to be. What could possibly go wrong? Okay.
No, we need the city halls to promote us. We are not going to do that for free.
Like Jerry's liking how you're thinking there. So it's going to be funded by the Alentejo Tourist Board as well.
Of course.
Nice, excellent. Are you up for that, Nuno? Are you going to pack a 90-litre case for that? Okay, brilliant. With extra underwear, of course. Okay, brilliant. Thank you for that inside information there, Gilda. Well, let's go back to the questions. Many of them.
Sorry, can you please stop talking about Nuno's underwear, Carl? Your face is going red every time you mention it.
It's normal, isn't it, for me to look like this flag behind me on these calls, increasingly so. It's the man flu, I tell you. But Jerry, we did talk about merchandise and Expats Portugal Speedos. Any update on that?
Yes, Nuno's volunteered to be the model.
There you go.
And once we get him measured up, we'll be away.
All right, a volunteer.
Astrid will be taking care of the measuring.
or be putting a message out on the forum for volunteers, and I think there will be many, to be fair, Nuno, knowing you as I do. Jasmine, hello, Gilda. Let's change the subject.
No, it's not going to happen, Carl. Astrid pushed us all out of the way and said, I want to do it.
Okay, fair enough.
Now Astrid is getting red.
Yes, quite. It's
Not a good model.
I'm just remembering us talking about the budgie smugglers the other day. That's all.
Yeah, okay. And Nuno's quit. Anyway, he's quit. He's not up for this job anymore. Hello, Gilda. From Jasmine. I've had a consultation with Beatrice last Friday and got some good information, but was awaiting more details by email that I've still not received. So for a prompt, it might have gone missing in the post. Things might have crossed. What's the best way to do a prompt?
Who is?
Beatrice.
Who is the person?
Jasmine. So you might want to PM me, Jasmine, your or one of us here in the team, your details so that Gilda can locate you correctly. Marty, love that Ponte Lima region. Northern Portugal is a gem, but keep your voices down. Patrick Carl Koenig is saying, hi, Carl and Gilda. Castelo Branco for me. So that's another possible. The interior definitely deserves more interest, I would say. The interior of Portugal is also a gem. I think it has to do with people looking for a place that is not popular but still has infrastructure. So those are pretty good parameters. Thank you for that. Jim, our friend Jim White is here, Gilda. Porto is terrible. Please steer people south. I see what you did there, Jim.
Yeah,
Porto is terrible. And hi, Jerry, from Simon as well. Simon are talking about having increased hope, I think, after a mention of the pension that was being paid there. So, yeah, keep your chin up and, keep working on it, Simon. I'm sure everything will be fine in the end there. With the twists and turns of migrating to Portugal. We love Viana do Castelo, says John and Pam. 15 minutes from Ponte Lima train station, shopping mall, movie theatres, seaside, etc. Selling it well. Personal question here from Paul. Gilda, have you changed your hairstyle and colour? Looking good.
Thank you. I did.
You did. And you look so glad that he's noticed. I noticed as well, but I didn't want to make a big deal of it. Okay, Castelo David, for me, nice one, Astrid. But again, probably wanting to keep that a secret too. And people probably search for it and end up going to a different Castelo Branco, for example, or Dubode near Tomar. And which is your, good question, Mehmet. Which is your favorite, Gilda, of these places? She's not going to say. You're wondering if you're going to say it or not, right? I could tell.
That's a tricky one.
Mm-hmm.
I love Lisbon, but I like to be next to Lisbon. I don't like to be inside Lisbon. Okay. So I like to be next to Lisbon, but in a place that it's quieter. So then I can go home and it's very quiet. So I like to go south, live near the beach, and somewhere in between Lisbon and Setúbal.
Yeah, I thought you might say that. Comporta, maybe where George, is it George Rooney? Is that his name? Not George. What's he called? George. Who's the guy who does the Nespresso?
George Clooney.
Not
George
George Rooney,
Clooney.
but George Clooney.
Clooney.
I knew that wasn't quite right. George Clooney has a place in Comporta. Why would I know that anyway? But that's a fabulous place to be, isn't it? We can see dolphins in the water that way, and you're almost in the Alentejo region there, aren't you? Where you can go to, what's it called, Milfontes, Villanova.
Yes, but that only works if you don't have kids.
Why? How's
you
that?
Need to be, because that's not a very good place to go to schools, and
oh, okay. I thought
you need
meant
to be a little bit.
All right, I thought like George Clooney doesn't like you bringing your kids along to his parties. Okay, so not very good. I mean, this goes back to the infrastructure question that Just B's talking about. So if you're an older retiree, not with kids and wanting a quiet life, you've had some really good tips this evening. And of course, if you do want infrastructure, you're getting some fantastic tips this evening as well. Isa, thank you very much for this. For the D7 CEF appointments vacancies, when could they open again? Could they not open again until 2024? And how often does CEF usually open new vacancies? I mean, you've touched upon it. What we haven't talked about is the progress of the strike and the Christmas shutdown, Gilda. So can you give us a little bit of a timeline in response to Isa's question there?
Well, the CEF here, it's apart from the consulates that are on strike. The CEF here just is a little bit slower because of the Christmas and the holidays and all that.
Yeah.
And talking about that, something just came to my mind.
Oh.
Yeah, that the government just gave one day for Christmas and one for New Year's Eve, and that we have CEF appointments on that day.
Okay.
Which means that they are not going to happen.
Hold on a minute. So the government have given extra 2 days holiday to government workers, are you saying?
Yes.
Okay, and that is going to have an impact for some people. So be aware of that. Okay.
It's the 26th and the 30 or the 31st.
Is that unusual then, Gilda? Because the other thing to bear in mind here, we were talking about the differences between American culture and Portuguese culture. Some American friends here who may have worked for corporate companies might expect a Christmas Eve shutdown and not go back to work until maybe the 2nd or 3rd of January. I don't know. That's the case in the UK sometimes. That is not how it works in Portugal, right? The 2 extra days there are in addition to what? Maybe people having Christmas Day and New Year's Day off. So it'll be just 4 days of holiday for the Portuguese.
Yes, and today and this year, I think it's because it's the Christmas is on the weekend, right?
Yes, it is. That's right. It's a Sunday. It will be Sunday the 25th, I believe.
Yes, that's why they are giving the 26th.
That seems fair. Yeah, Segunda.
Yeah.
26. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Right.
That's why.
Yes, because Portuguese people are always looking at when the holidays fall, aren't they? Whether they're going to get a long weekend or whether the holiday's actually going to be on Saturday or Sunday. So the government sound like they've done the right thing there and given people some extra time.
So I know that we have CEFs on the 26th, and I think that they are not going to happen.
Which means that as well, it sounds like EIA are working. What are your holiday hours or opening times, Gilda?
No, for the people that had CEF, we gave the choice to choose the 23rd because they had to be working on the 26th.
Oh wow, okay, but you're not having a long shutdown. You're
no.
At work. Okay, good to know. All right, that will come as a great relief to many people listening that they can use your services for most of the time.
Yes, we never stop long.
No,
it's
okay.
Just
fair enough.
Never.
Who's helping George Clooney with his D7? Now, you don't have to answer this, and you're not going to either, are you? Somebody's guessing that it's Julia Roberts, of course, says Marty. Is Portugal experiencing strike action like the UK? Patrick, this was a particular industrial action at consulates around the world. Generally speaking, I don't think there is a lot of industrial action happening in Portugal at the moment. I'm not sure about that, though. Nuno or Gilda, would you care to comment on that? Not that we're aware of, by the look of things.
I'm not aware.
No. Jerry, was that you there? No, perhaps not. Okay. Does anyone use the e-visa portal to apply for visas? I have never heard anyone mentioning anything about the portal from Andrew. What do you make of the e-visa portal? What's your assessment of that, Gilda? Is that a public or private thing? It sounds like that might be a private company, sounding almost like a public company.
I think they are my competitors. Why should I listen?
Yes, quite. Andrew, how very dare you? So it just sounded to me like that was a government, like the Finances portal. So least said, soonest mended, and I shall move on. Mehmet, Gilda, when do you think I can obtain my visa? It's a very direct and obvious question, and I'm glad you asked it, Mehmet. We are crazy excited about the future and can't wait to move there, hence the question there. So what are you thinking for Mehmet from what you know about his particular situation there and digital nomad visa scenario?
Did your visa is already got in the embassy? No, not yet.
Okay, possible timeline there then. Are you picking that up, Gilda? Or are we waiting for an answer from Mehmet on that one? I think there might be some correspondence going on behind the scenes there, Mehmet. So yeah, do let us know where exactly where you're up to, and Gilda can give you some possible assessment. But clearly, and this is what the situation for people here. It's a lot of this is beyond Gilda's hands, isn't it? Once it goes into the behind closed doors of government, there's only so much anyone can do about that. But rest assured, as Gilda was saying there, the team are working flat out. Pretty much throughout Christmas by the sound of it, and working with people to do their SEF appointments. So from Gilda's point of view, flat out, we can't really speak for the government there, but Gilda might make a bit of a, given your excitement, Mehmet, how...
No, I'm going to check tomorrow.
There you go. Can't say fairer than that. There you go. Thank you very much for that. Don't think George Clooney has, he has Italian citizenship, so he won't need a visa. Jerry showing his grasp of celebrity matters and how the visas work in Europe as well there. Excellent stuff.
I actually met him in Italy once.
Seriously?
Claim to fame.
For coffee?
Yeah.
That terrible coffee. Yeah,
I was in his local restaurant with some friends of mine.
Yeah,
and he was there, but so we gave him a little wave, and that was that.
Of course. Did he say, "Hey, is that Jerry from Expats Portugal over there"?
No, he didn't say that. What he said was, "How's Carl?"
Yay! Yes, thank you very much.
He didn't ask about me. He did. Come on.
Oh, and you as well, Gilda.
Of course, Gilda. Of course. All right. So this seems like a good moment to do a bit of housekeeping and let you know that this is the last Migration Tuesday of the year. I'll be back again, of course, next year with a star-studded lineup. The A-team, the dream team of migration professionals, are popping up on a Migration Tuesday to help you, and social night on Thursday, where we might have Gilda back, we might have Nuno back to take part in the grand Christmas quiz. Jerry, how's it gone this year?
Yeah, it's ready, Carl.
Nothing more exciting than that.
I suppose you'd like a copy, really, wouldn't you? I should send it to you.
By Thursday at 7, we'll be fine, and I'm sure it'll be excellent as usual. Any tips or any little bit of inside information for this particular community gathered here tonight when they join us on Thursday?
Well, it might be a good idea to bring a drink, and maybe be in singing mode.
Singing mode.
Because
there you go.
Because Carl's going to lead us in some Christmas carols.
Oh, okay. All right. I've got to speak to my agent about that. Okay, thank you, Jerry. That's Thursday evening, the Christmas party. Bring a drink, bring a hat as well. Bring festive cheer on Thursday for our gathering, last one of the year, and then we'll be back, of course, for 2023, helping people move to Portugal.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit of a prediction from you then, Gilda, given that this is the last one of the year. Nuno, you might want to chip in as well. How's it looking for 2023 for Portugal, for people moving here? What are your thoughts going into a new year? Gilda first.
I am very positive.
Good. Excellent stuff.
I think it's going to be a very good year. We are going to work with this new law, with all these new visas, and we are going to fight against these consulates and doing these appeals, and it's going to be so much fun.
And you're grinning from ear to ear. I'm liking that. Nuno, do you have anything to add to how things are looking for the new year, 2023? Got any resolutions?
Well, I'm going to talk by my side. So 1 year ago, I was saying that next year, so 2022, that will be a terrible year. And it was a terrible year. Even worse.
It was not.
Than what I project. Yes, a lot of stuff happening, but also a lot of good things happen. So it ends balanced. And the same way I said that, I'm sure that the next year everything will stay tuned and will be okay. So this is my projection. Regarding Portugal, I don't have many expectations that some typical Portuguese way of doing things or handling with things will change. Also, not the litigation side. So sorry to say this, but forget the litigation because it's a complicated way to solve things in Portugal. It's the truth. And I hope that the Portuguese government has good sense and consolidates the proposal that Portugal has for everyone that want to live in our country.
Well said. Excellent. An excellent note to conclude on. Gilda, what I would love to see is, we are going into the second or third year of CEF's reorganization. I mean, it's got to happen at some point, hasn't it? My dream scenario, the ultimate ideal scenario, of course, would be for the likes of the government officials who are putting CEF together to talk to professionals like yourself. You're dealing direct, aren't you, at the actual face-to-face with people moving to the country. It makes so much sense at this time of their reorganization to consult with people like you, to consult with people like Nuno and say, look, what do we need to do here? So that's my hope for next year, is that they might do that. It can't carry on, can it? I mean, what are the precedents for reorganizations in the Portuguese government? It's got to happen in 2023, isn't it, for CEF?
I think so. I hope so.
Okay, but you haven't had the call yet, or maybe you can't tell us. Maybe I shouldn't put you on the spot like that, but I sincerely hope that they consult with you, because you really know what's going on the ground and with people coming to Portugal. So I hope they have the sense to do that. And on that note, unless there's any last word you would like to utter, Gilda, on this particular webinar before we see you again next year, please go ahead.
Me?
Yeah. Well, let me wish you a Feliz Natal on behalf of everybody, of the team here and the whole community. Thank you so much for what you've done for everybody this year. Happy Christmas to you. And will you pass that on to the team as well? EI, send them all our love and best wishes, and for a very prosperous and happy 2023. And we look forward to seeing you in the new year.
Thank you. I'll do my best in my team to support you to come to Portugal. That's what we like to do. And you remember, I always keep a challenge for the next for the new year.
Oh.
And yeah, last year it was, I wanted to become healthier and less stressed.
I remember now, yes, and it worked, didn't it?
It did. It
Yes,
did.
yes.
And My birthday is on 10th of December, and I just sent the picture to Carl. I don't know if you can show it.
I'll do my best to. Let me see if I carry on talking. I'll see if I can do that. So yeah,
because
I
did celebrate, and it was, it was a very nice party.
Okay.
Because it's I don't have my family here. It's very rare to have all my family here.
Okay.
And this year it happened, and it's like I don't even remember.
Well, you remember that bit. You remember that, but you don't remember much after that. Is that what you're saying?
No, I remember everything. I remember everything. I don't even remember when it was the last time that I got all my family together.
Oh, I see what you mean. I beg your pardon. All right. That is really special. I hope everybody's seeing that. We have, and it's a bit of a giveaway there. That's either the answer to the ultimate question of the universe, 42, or it's actually your age. Could be both.
That's my age.
That is a fantastic backdrop. Is that your house, or is that on some separate?
No, that's not my house.
Right, that's extraordinary.
Yeah.
That's fabulous.
It was a very, very happy day. It was one of the happiest days of my life.
Oh, that's beautiful to hear, Gilda. And they bought you a bucket of Chanel 42?
No, that was my cake.
Oh, superb. Excellent. That's really wonderful. Okay. Well, yeah, thank you so much. And we are getting some thanks that I do want to share with you before we complete the evening tonight.
Yes, but what I was going to say.
Oh, yes, your resolution for 2023.
It's not a resolution, but I had this idea that I want to, because I love so much what I do. Yes. And I have so many good experiences. And I want to keep some of them to the future. So I want to start a kind of a book that I can give to my kids, and I hope that they can show to my grandkids with photos like Martin took with the visa, and with testimonials of our clients, because some of them wrote beautiful things to me, and sent me beautiful emails on my birthday. It's another thing I'm not going to forgive you, Carl.
Are you going to write that in the book for your children?
It's this and the sardines.
So, and is that going in the book? Like when your kids and your grandkids look at this book, and who is this Carl guy that grandma was so angry at, who couldn't cook sardines and didn't go to her party?
Yes, so I have this resolution for 2023. So I'm going to ask everyone that gets this visa to take funny pictures and happy pictures.
What a lovely idea.
Funny places. Yeah.
And it's not too late for those who've already got their visas. Why don't you send a lovely picture to Gilda of you in your new home or your new town? That would be fantastic. Please do that. Happy birthday from Nubianette. Our birthdays are on the same day. And I think I forgot them both.
Ooh.
That will help me remember next year, though. Chris, that's Nubianette who's saying that. Happy belated birthday. Looks like a great party. Marty, thank you, Gilda, for all your help. Happy you had a nice year and a healthier now than at 41. Sue's catching last minute's happiest of holidays to Gilda Nuno and anyone I see on the replay. Was that George Clooney's house? Gerard is asking that you were pictured out there. And happy birthday, Gilda, from Jim. And thank you, everybody who's sending thanks to Gilda and for everything that you've done for everybody this year, Gilda. Do please take that on board and treasure it and share it with the rest of the team.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Round of applause for you. There you go. Thank you, everybody, for being here tonight. I don't want to say goodbye, but we'll see you again next year. Have a great Christmas.
Yeah, we'll have a Christmas party on Thursday, right?
Yes. Come along on Thursday.
I don't know if my man. Yeah, we'll see you on Thursday. Absolutely, we'll see you on
7:30. Either register through the website, on expatsportugal.com on the events calendar section, or I think we'll stream it through YouTube too, Carl. So if you're a regular,
work on my
YouTube,
skills. I'll work.
Please come and join us. So it's going to be a bit of fun.
All right. Thanks, everybody. Bye for now. Ciao, ciao.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good night.
Bye-bye.